Welcome to the Asset Attitude, the place to develop a mindset, learn how to make money work for you, and increase in value. This is going to be about getting you right or getting left. This show will not be for everyone because it's going to be a no holds barred. This is how we create wealth. This is how it works with money. It's everything you need to be prosperous. And the reason why I say this show is not for everybody is because not everybody's going to want to adapt, develop, and have the mindset to have an asset attitude. So again, welcome. Please subscribe, thumbs up the video, share. All right, there's some events coming up. And when it comes to making money, majority of the time money is made or there's a wealth transfer is when we have current events. The current events right now are the general election. Also, we have Black Friday, and then we slide right into 2021. We're 2 months away from 2021. Can you believe it? So if your 2020 has not gone so well, you have 2 months left, and then you move on to 2021. So I will say this much. Even though we are moving into 2021, whether we want to or not, if you are not prepared to be in an advantageous position, if you have not been planning for 2021, if you have not met your goals for 2020, you're behind the curve. Now, it's not too late per se, but you only have 2 months left to knock out the goals with potential protests, riots, looting, stuff that we've all gotten used to. And also you have Black Friday, then you got Christmas, then you got swinging into the new year. And also a lot of people are unemployed. So there's a lot of things going on that will affect the markets. And that's what we care about. We here at the Asset Attitude, we care about the markets. We care about asset classes. We care about what is in it for us. Point blank, period. How a McDonald's worker can be high value. I'm talking about the guy or gal who makes minimum wage, how he or she can be high value. There's a lot of discussion as far as how to be high value. What does high value mean? What is the definition of it? And here are my thoughts on that. In my opinion, high value is where you have someone who a lot of people want. They want that person in their organization. They want this person in a relationship. They want them a part of the church, a part of the business group. They want them a part of what they got going on. The reason why they're considered high value is because a lot of people consider this person to be valuable. When it comes to the asset attitude, it doesn't matter what someone else believes or someone else wants. It's about you and yourself. We here believe and preach selfishness, individualism. So as long as you are meeting your goals and achieving your goals, and you have set goals and you have a strategy for yourself, and you are optimistic about your chances, and that optimism doesn't change whenever you face adversity, you should be high value to yourself, and therefore you'll be high value. So point blank, period, we validate ourselves, not someone else, not this other thing, not how much money you make. We validate ourselves. A McDonald's worker can be high value who makes minimum wage. So how is this possible, CK? If the McDonald's worker is making $7 an hour, whatever I'm doing, I make way more than the McDonald's worker. In the opening scroll or opening, you saw the word inflows. Inflow is what's key to being able to do anything in life, because inflow is the money coming into your possession, whether it be bank account, your hands, your pockets, whatever, money coming in. So the McDonald's worker barely making anything, as long as he or she puts their inflow or their paycheck into an asset class before they put it into expenses and liabilities, this person is building up assets. And one day, just like I did, they'll be able to, when investing in assets, those assets will pay out, and this person will be able to live off of passive income. So the millionaire, when you hear the word millionaire, this person makes $1 million a year. The millionaire has a broken poor person mindset if the millionaire spends $1 million every year. That means their check to check even though their things are nicer. So they're living in a home, that's a mortgage you got to pay. With them having to pay that mortgage, the financial institution owns that house. You don't own that home until you pay off that mortgage. So they're making the financial institution rich. Also, they're paying interest on that. Then let's say if they have a Rolls-Royce Bentley, the Bentley's $500,000. They bought that outright. They're making Bentley rich. If they got it financed, they're making the finance company rich. If they're putting gas in the tank, the gasoline companies are getting rich. Based off this scenario, even if you can consider student loans, jewelry they may have, if they financed furniture, financed computer, TV, if all of the money that they're making, this multimillionaire, if all the money goes in their hands and goes right out to expenses and liabilities, then as you can see, this multimillionaire basically has a broken poor person mindset, or at least a situation, because they're still check to check. And that's kind of the problem with a lot of people, not all, but most people. The more money they make, the more their appetite increases, and that money is going directly into an expense or a liability. They may hire an investment banker, they may hire a tax attorney or CPA to help them invest. But you got to understand that these people who are professionals, their job is to move money from your pocket into theirs. Same thing for the stockbroker. Everybody wants your money. So unless you have the asset attitude and the mindset where you know what you're going to do with your money is going to soon leave your hands and go into other people's pockets. Even if you make millions of dollars every year for the rest of your life, you're helping other people be rich, and it's more than likely you're not going to be properly building and generating generational wealth. So going back to the McDonald's worker, if that McDonald's worker, whether man or woman, takes their paycheck and before paying their rent, utilities, whatever else they got going on, groceries and all that stuff, if they put aside whatever dollar amount they want to, whether percentage or just dollar amount, like $200 per check or $300 per check, $100 per check, if each time they get paid, they pay themselves first and invest first before paying expenses and liabilities, if they're at McDonald's for 20 years and they do that for 20 years, they're going to be a step ahead of the person who has to go out and make money. Because the multimillionaire in this situation, the multimillionaire makes $1 million, and that is active income because they actively have to work for it. However, the McDonald's worker, by squirreling away and investing in things before paying the expenses and liabilities, will soon have assets built up through return on investment, live off those assets, and have passive income. So the McDonald's worker will be able to enjoy his or her life, travel, will be able to do anything they want to do as far as a hobby. They can be happy, they can be free. Whereas the multimillionaire who makes $1 million a year and spends $1 million a year, or spends $1 million plus a year, like most entertainers do, sooner or later, when their value decreases and no one wants to buy their album sales, nobody wants to go see them in concert, or they have a scandal, or they go through divorce. There's a whole bunch of things. That multimillionaire will probably become a six-figure person, and sooner or later the well is going to dry up. They're going to have to keep working for the rest of their life. And you'll say, well, MC Hammer, you were making millions of dollars. What happened? Well, I had to put my cousin on, I put my grandmother on, I put all these people on, I put my neighborhood on, which all that is expenses. And now MC Hammer's filing for bankruptcy. MC Hammer's struggling. They're having to do something strange for some change to make ends meet. And it's all because they paid expenses and liabilities before they paid themselves, if they paid themselves. So that's how the McDonald's worker can be high value, because the goal should be retirement. The goal should be to one day live off passive income. I mean, if it's Social Security, it's Social Security, but the goal should be to live off of passive income, no matter what the passive income is. So that way you can be comfortable and perhaps retire early, or be able to retire comfortably, or be able to do what you want to do in life versus having to punch a clock and do what someone else wants you to do. Going bossless should be your goal. Financial independence should be your goal. Financial freedom should be your goal. Whatever you want to do in life, you should be able to achieve it, because life is short. when you're paying on a 30-year mortgage, and let's say you're 23 years old, you get your first home, you got a 30-year mortgage, you're going to be paying on that home unless you sell it and you're able to sell it for a profit as opposed to being upside down. You're going to be, in that scenario, like 55 years old by the time that house is paid off. And that's if you don't have a balloon payment. That's if you paid it on time and early. There's a whole bunch of different things and hoops you got to go through to be able to get out of having personal debt, so you are debtless. That way you can be bossless. So 55 years old is pretty old. Because once you turn 55, your body starts to break down, you have health issues, and if you're not putting yourself first, paying yourself first, having insurance, taking care of yourself, by the time you're 55, it's more than likely you're going to be like, okay, well, let me keep working so I can make it to Social Security. Then once you get to 67 years old, I've worked with people like this before. They're at retirement age and past retirement age, and they still have to work. So they're wanting to, in this scenario, make someone else rich. Because there's people right now who sit back and they want you to stay employee. They want you to stay entry level. They want you to stay supervisor. They don't want you to learn their secrets and their trade and how they do business and take their intellectual property, create your own business and compete with them. They don't want that. They want you to stay in your cubicle. They want you to stay where you are. They want you to stay content. They want you to go out drinking with friends and complain about the boss, but they don't want you to do anything about your situation. Because if you do something about your situation, now you become a threat. And once you become a threat, now you become competition. There are companies right now that are third, fourth generation companies. You'll be able to start your own company and be first generation. And through multiple streams of income or multiple opportunities, you'll be able to compete with them, take away their business, and be very competitive. In the description, there are links to my Patreon and channel membership. The master class level, which is the commendable class level, that's where I go over the multiple opportunities, reinvest earnings, which is the M.O.R.E. The M.O.R.E. movement is about getting multiple opportunities to be able to, like, literally reinvest earnings and be able to live off passive income, grow your nest egg, and be able to retire early and be happy.